Okay, so you know how for a lot of people, like building a custom home is like the ultimate American dream?
Yeah,
It's that chance to really make a space that's like exactly what you want,
right.
on your own piece of land and all that. But I think we can both agree that figuring out the money part and like actually getting it built,
Uh-huh.
especially with how the economy is right now, can feel kind of overwhelming.
It definitely can.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moving pieces,
Yeah, so many.
and it can be a lot to coordinate.
Right. So that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
Okay, sounds good.
This idea of like a combo that's
Yeah.
making the whole custom home thing way easier for people.
Right.
So we're talking about the one-time close construction loan,
Yeah.
which you'll hear called an OTC loan sometimes,
Makes sense.
and how that works with the turnkey custom builder.
Gotcha.
It seems like this is getting more and more popular, and we want to see why.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Totally. So first off, just to be clear on what these things even are.
Always good to start with the basics.
Right. So an OTC construction loan, like I said, sometimes it's called a single close construction loan or construction to permanent loan.
Right. A few different names for the same thing?
Yeah. It's basically like it takes all the different money steps and puts them into one loan.
Okay.
So that's the money to buy the land if you need to,
Uh-huh.
all the costs for the actual construction,
Right.
and then your final mortgage all in one.
It's all kind of bundled together.
Exactly. One application, one time getting approved, and one closing.
Wow. That sounds way less complicated than doing it all separately.
Right. So much simpler.
Okay, so that's the OTC loan.
Mhm.
What about the turnkey custom builder part? What exactly does that mean?
Okay, so a turnkey custom builder, it's more than just a regular contractor.
Okay.
It's often a company that does both design and build. They manage the whole project, like from the very beginning to the very end.
So they're with you through the entire process.
Yeah, so they'll work with you on the designs, get all the permits figured out, which can be a huge pain.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
They oversee the whole construction, manage all the different people working on it,
Right.
and then they give you the keys to a totally finished, move-in ready house.
So you don't have to deal with any of the details.
Exactly, it's a complete package deal.
So it takes a lot of the stress and hassle out of building a house.
Totally. So the big question we're looking at here is, why is this combo, the OTC loan and the turnkey builder, becoming so popular?
Right. Why is it such a good strategy, especially now?
Yeah. We're going to go through the top 10 reasons why people are choosing this way of building their custom homes.
Perfect. Let's dive in. All right, ready to get started?
Absolutely. Hit me with reason number 1.
Okay, reason number 1 is something that I think is on everyone's mind right now.
Oh, yeah.
Interest rates.
Big time.
So this first reason, it's called the rate conversion advantage.
Okay.
And this is a pretty smart benefit, especially when you think about how much interest rates have been changing.
They've been all over the place. Right. Up and down. So with a lot of these OTC loans, you don't have to lock in your permanent mortgage rate super early on.
Okay, that's different from some other loans.
Yeah, like with some loans, you might have to pick your rate even before they start building.
I see.
But with OTC loans, during the actual construction, you usually have what's called a floating interest rate.
Okay,
And that rate is often connected to the prime rate.
which is?
The prime rate is like a basic interest rate that banks use as a starting point.
Got it.
And then the lender adds a little extra to that, which they call a margin.
Okay, so it's the prime rate plus a little bit more.
Exactly. And the cool thing is during construction, you're mostly just paying interest on the money they've given you so far.
So you're not paying down the principal yet.
Not really.
Yeah.
Just the interest. And this is where the advantage comes in. Your permanent fixed mortgage rate, the one you'll have for like 15 or 30 years,
Right.
you don't lock that in until the house is almost done.
Okay, I see where this is going.
So let's say interest rates go down while your house is being built, which could totally happen in like 9 to 18 months or even longer.
Happens all the time.
You can get that lower rate for your whole mortgage.
That's huge.
It is. So if rates go down, you could end up with much lower monthly payments.
And you'd save so much money on interest over the years.
It could be thousands of dollars.
Wow. Now, of course, rates could also go up, right?
They could. But the point is, you have the chance to win if they go down.
You're not locked in from the start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have that flexibility.
That's a really smart way to approach it.
Okay, so reason number 2. This one's about saving you money up front.
Everyone loves saving money.
It's called slashing closing costs.
Okay. Closing costs, those are always a pain.
They can be a lot. So basically, whenever you get a loan for a house, you got to pay all these fees.
Like, what kind of fees are we talking about?
There's like an appraisal fee to see how much the property's worth,
Makes sense.
and then a title search and title insurance to make sure like nobody else has a claim on the land.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Then you've got recording fees to officially register the loan. Sometimes lawyer fees.
I've definitely had to pay those before.
Origination points, which is like a fee the lender charges,
Ugh.
and then even a survey to like figure out exactly where the property lines are.
It's a lot of little things that add up to a lot of money.
It really does. And here's the thing with the old way of doing things.
Like with 2 separate loans.
Yeah, you'd get a construction loan first and then refinance into a regular mortgage after the house was built.
Right.
So guess what? You'd pay all those closing costs twice.
Oh, no. So you're paying double the fees.
Basically. Once for the construction loan and then again for the mortgage.
That's brutal.
But with the OTC loan, it's only one closing.
That's got to save a ton of money.
It really can. We're talking thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands.
That's a down payment on another house.
Right. Think about what you could do with that money.
You could get like nicer appliances for your new kitchen.
Or finally put in that landscaping you've been wanting.
Yeah. Or just keep it and, be responsible.
Exactly. It's your money to use how you want.
All right, I'm sold on this one.
Okay, reason number 3. This one's all about peace of mind.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
It's called eliminating requalification roulette.
Requalification roulette. What's that all about?
So imagine you've got your construction loan, you're building your dream house, it's almost finished,
Sounds exciting.
but then you have to qualify all over again for your permanent mortgage.
Wait, what? I thought I already did that.
With the old way, yeah, but with the OTC, it's different.
Oh.
But imagine you have to requalify, and a lot can happen in those months of construction, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons of things can change.
Like, what if you change jobs or your income goes down?
That happens.
Or maybe your credit score takes a hit for some reason.
It's easy to miss a payment or something.
Or what if the lender's rules get stricter all of a sudden?
That's out of your control.
Right. Any of those things could mean you don't get approved for the mortgage, or you get stuck with worse terms.
Like a higher interest rate.
Exactly. It's a gamble.
So it's like you're rolling the dice, hoping everything stays perfect.
Yeah. But with an OTC loan, you only qualify once.
Right at the beginning.
And once you're approved and the loan closes, that's it. Your permanent financing is set.
So you don't have to worry about qualifying again later.
Nope. It's already done.
That's a huge weight off your shoulders.
Right. You can just focus on building the house and know that you're good to go with the loan.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's so much less stressful.
Exactly. No more requalification roulette.
Okay, what's reason number 4?
This one's about convenience, which is something we all need more of.
For sure. Time is precious.
It really is. And building a custom home takes a lot of time and energy.
No kidding.
So why make the money part more complicated than it needs to be?
Right. Streamline it as much as possible.
Exactly. That's what the OTC loan does. It's way simpler and more efficient.
How so?
Well, you only have to fill out one application.
Instead of 2.
You give them your financial stuff once.
That's a relief.
You mainly talk to one team at the lender.
So you're not getting the runaround.
And you only go to closing once.
Sounds like a dream.
It is. Compare that to like doing 2 separate loans.
With 2 different lenders and twice the paperwork.
It's a nightmare. The OTC loan, especially with a good turnkey builder, it just takes so much off your plate.
So you can focus on the fun parts of building a house.
Exactly. Picking out finishes and all that.
All right, that's a big plus.
Reason number 5 is all about that moment when construction is finally done.
Oh, yeah. That feeling of accomplishment.
And you're ready to move in.
Can't wait to get settled.
It's a great feeling. But sometimes with the 2 loan way, it can get messed up.
How so?
Like you're trying to close on that separate mortgage at the last minute and things can go wrong.
Like what kinds of things?
The lender might need to do more checks, or there could be problems with the appraisal of the finished house.
Oh, no.
Or they might suddenly ask for more documents and it just delays everything.
So you can't move in when you planned.
It can be a real headache, but with the OTC loan, it's a smooth transition.
Okay.
Once the construction's done and everything's been inspected, the loan just switches over.
From construction to permanent mortgage.
Yeah. You were probably making interest-only payments during construction.
Right.
Now it changes to regular payments with principal and interest.
And that's based on the rate I locked in earlier.
Exactly. No second closing, no more stress about qualifying.
Just move in and enjoy the new house.
Exactly. It's so much easier.
Love it.
Reason number 6 is super important when you're building a custom home.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's about financing the land.
Oh, yeah. Finding the right lot is the first step.
It is, and it can be tough. But a lot of these OTC loan programs, they help with that too.
Really? How so?
They let you finance the land purchase and the construction all together in the same loan.
So you're not scrambling for separate financing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need a separate land loan, which usually has a higher interest rate and more closing costs.
And I bet it's a faster process.
It is. You can close on the land and start building sooner.
That's a game changer. Especially if you find the perfect lot and don't want to lose it.
Right. It simplifies things so much.
Okay, this is making a lot of sense.
Reason number 7 is about how well OTC loans work with turnkey builders.
They seem like a natural fit.
They really are turnkey builders. They like to have control over the whole project,
From start to finish.
which actually makes lenders happy because it means less risk.
How so?
Well, turnkey builders, they're good at sticking to timelines and budgets.
They know what they're doing.
Right. They've got systems in place to manage everything.
So the lender is more confident that the project will go smoothly.
Exactly. And a lot of these turnkey builders, they already have good relationships with lenders who do OTC loans.
So it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. They know the process. They know what the lender needs. It makes everything easier.
And that benefits the borrower in the end.
Totally. Less hassle, less stress.
I can see why this combo is becoming so popular.
Okay, reason number 8 is all about budgets.
Uh-huh. Staying on track.
Exactly. So we talked about how the interest rate can change during construction.
Right. That's the rate conversion advantage.
But with a good turnkey builder, the rest of your costs become more predictable.
That's a good thing.
It is. A good builder will give you a really clear construction budget up front.
So you know what to expect.
Sometimes they'll even give you a fixed price contract.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
But even if it's not fixed price, you have a much better idea of the costs from the start.
And that makes it easier to plan and budget.
Totally.
Mm.
And when you combine that with the fact that you're only paying closing costs once and you don't have to worry about requalifying, it gives you a lot of financial stability.
You're not constantly wondering if you can afford it.
Exactly. Less stress, more peace of mind.
This is making me want to build a house.
Right. It's a smart way to do it.
It really is.
Reason number 9 is about how construction loans actually work.
Okay. How does the money get paid out?
So it's not like they just give you the whole loan amount at the beginning.
That would be too easy.
It's done in stages through what they call a draw system.
A draw system. What's that?
So as the builder finishes different parts of the house, like the foundation or the framing, they ask the lender for money to cover those costs.
Okay.
It's called a draw. And the lender usually sends someone out to inspect the work and make sure it's done right before they release the money.
So it's like checkpoints along the way.
Exactly. It protects both you and the lender.
Makes sense.
And with OTC loans, this draw process tends to be really smooth.
Because it's all one loan.
Yeah. The lender's involved from the very beginning, so they know what's going on.
And there's no need to coordinate between different lenders.
It's much simpler. And that means the builder gets paid on time, which keeps the project moving forward.
So good for everyone.
It is. Keeps things organized and on schedule.
I like it.
All right, last one reason, number 10. This is about minimizing risks.
Risk is a big factor in any construction project.
It definitely is. There are always things that can go wrong.
Like what?
Material prices could go up.
That's happening a lot lately.
Or there could be delays because of bad weather.
You can't control the weather.
Nope. Or maybe you run into unexpected problems with the land.
Like underground rocks or something.
Exactly. You never know. But the OTC loan and the turnkey builder combo, they help to manage those risks.
By controlling what you can control.
Right. Like we talked about the interest rate risk, you can potentially get a lower rate at the end.
Like the rate conversion advantage.
And you don't have to worry about qualifying again later.
No requalification roulette.
You save money on closing costs.
One closing instead of two.
You have a simpler process with less paperwork.
One lender.
And the turnkey builder helps to make sure the project stays on track.
So it's like a safety net.
It is. It gives you more peace of mind when you're building a house, which can be really stressful.
Absolutely. Building a house is a huge investment.
It is. So you want to do everything you can to make it go smoothly.
This combo definitely seems like the way to go.
It's a smart strategy.
All right, so to sum it all up, it sounds like building a dream home should be fun and exciting, not a financial nightmare.
Exactly. And this OTC loan turnkey builder thing, it's a really good way to make that happen.
It takes care of so many potential problems before they even come up.
And it can save you a ton of money.
In the long run and up front.
So if you're thinking about building a custom home, my advice is to do your research.
Yeah, find lenders who specialize in OTC loans.
And talk to some experienced turnkey builders.
Get a feel for who you trust and who you want to work with.
That's the key to making this whole process as smooth and successful as possible.
Your dream home is out there. You just got to build it the smart way.
Build it smarter, not harder.
I like that.
Thanks.
All right. That was a great deep dive.
I think so too. We covered a lot.
Definitely. And I hope it was helpful for everyone listening.
Me too. Until next time.
See ya. Bye.